Welcome back to Relationship Wednesday. We are now on the segment of Ask Pastor Chris. We are doing it so differently as we have been doing this year. We are out with students, various places, young people, talking to them on this segment of Ask Pastor Chris. We've been to various other places, and today we are here with the K.I.M.C. How is everybody here today? Yeah. Are you well? Yeah. This is the Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. We're hanging out with them for this segment. If you want to be part of the Ask Pastor Chris, you could write us on lifeandstyle@standardmedia.co.ke. That's our email. 22840 is our text message number. Follow us on our Twitter and our Instagram handles at KTNLife_style and KTNLifeandstyle on Facebook. We want to hear from you. We know that you've been having a great show already, but we want to hear also your questions and your invitations to the various places that you want us to be at. I want to ask these students here, the ladies and the gentlemen over here, what is it about your school that you would want everybody else to know?
K.I.M.C just is the best media school in Kenya.
Why is it the best?
It's the best because it has produced the best, you know.
It's produced the best?
Yeah.
Like
Shafi being one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, K.I.M.C is the oldest media school in Kenya.
In Kenya?
Yeah, in fact, in East and Central Africa.
In East and Central Africa. Yeah. To what degree does somebody study over here? Diploma, national, higher diploma, degree?
You can get up to a degree in K.I.M.C. K.I.M.C partners with other universities to offer a degree bachelors. Okay. But again, we offer diplomas. K.I.M.C as its own offers diplomas and certificates.
So I can come in and pursue my degree over here. Yes. Okay. Now, getting on to Ask Pastor Chris. Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. You don't sound ready. Are you ready? Yes. Good. Now, I have a question for you before I take your questions. Long distance relationships, do they work? People are nodding instead of talking to me. Do they work? Do you believe they work? Can they work?
Honestly, for me, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work?
Yeah.
Have you tried and it failed?
Definitely, I've tried one.
You've tried once. Why didn't it work? Why do you think it did not work?
I think because sometimes you need to be the partner, you understand? So you realize that you are away for months and you can only communicate. Sometimes it needs time to be the partner.
You don't think that, and especially with our day where there is a lot of phones, there's WhatsApp, there's every kind of thing, you don't think you can keep the conversation going? It's not those days where you used to send a letter and then you have to send somebody to pick it for you.
You do all that, but that cannot represent your presence. Okay. You need to be there at times.
All right.
So for me, it doesn't.
It doesn't work?
Yeah.
I believe that it works.
It
because,
works?
Yeah, what I know, the key to a healthy relationship is communication. So as long as there is communication, it can work.
Out of mind, out of sight, out of mind. It doesn't work.
Have you noticed, if I was doing a sample right there, have you noticed the gentlemen are saying it doesn't work and the ladies are saying it works? So why do we have that dichotomy? Why do the men think it doesn't work and why do the women think that it works? All right.
For women, we don't trust ladies, and that's why majority of us we are against it because you find that
men don't trust ladies. I thought ladies don't trust men.
It depends. It depends. But due to this issue that has been known of trending to the ladies and especially young, the issue of sponsorship and what have you, you find that when you are very far from your partner, definitely, even if you communicate, you'll have to. It won't work as such that you could have been together with her. And due to that, she finds...
So the men are insecure.
Yeah.
In a sense. They feel like somebody else is going to come in.
Yeah. Automatically.
And they want to be able to observe the person.
Yeah, when you observe the person and you are together with the person, you can feel like there is a comfortability that you feel you are comfortable in that, man.
All right, let me take your questions right now for us, Pastor Chris. Let me take your questions, the questions that you have for me. That was my question to you. Let me see who has a question. All right, let's start with this gentleman here.
Do you think that if the mother chicken is away, the chicken are safe? The chicks. The chicks.
The chicks.
Yeah.
Well, they may not be safe, but I'm trying to understand the point at which you would relate that, because when you're relating with a lady, it's not so much like the chicks. There is the element of men being the protectors of the women, but there's a difference between protecting and being insecure. There's a difference. Protection is a very positive thing where you're only careful that nothing harmful or dangerous or hurtful will come to them. When you talk about insecurity, it is the place where you yourself don't feel safe. So you think that anything coming in is going to take away this woman from you. So the person under threat here is not the lady you're relating with, it is yourself. There's a difference between protection and insecurity. So you cannot really use the analogy of the chicken and the chicks, because in this particular case, you've got to trust your partner enough that she can say no to people who come. You know, because she can decide to go away on you even when you're together. So there's got to be that element of trust, belief. If you don't trust in her word, there's a problem with the relationship already. If you have to be there every time to monitor every move for the relationship to work, there's a problem right there. It is not sustainable because you will not be there every day. You will not monitor every move. It's going to be so much work, you're going to crack your head. So a sound relationship is based on trust. It is based on good belief that if that person gave you their word that they are with you, they are with you.
I only asked that because everybody now, it's trending that everyone is they use fisi and fisi-led.
No, never accept stereotypes.
Okay.
Never accept stereotypes. There is nothing that everybody is. Not everybody is bad. Not everybody is wrong. Not everybody is doing what people are saying everybody is doing. Their view of everybody is the people they know. And even when they know, for example, I may be knowing 4 people, and what I call everybody might just be 2 people out of the 4. So never believe those. Not everybody is doing what other people are saying everybody's doing.
You should live in your own world.
Well, really, make your own decisions. Make your own judgment. Make your own judgment. And for you to do that, you've got to find your own information. That means that meet everybody as they are. Learn them for who they are. You cannot stereotype all the girls as people who go out with the sponsors. You cannot stereotype all the men as people who behave in a certain way. Just get to know people are individuals. No matter even when they have been born as twins, they've got personalities, they've got individual destinies. So you got to get to know people one by one, and you make sound decisions on that.
Thank you.
Maybe you're dating someone, and maybe let's say after 3 months, you just go shut on this person. You don't want to talk to this person. Maybe you used to shut the whole day. It changes to hi. You just get tired of this person. What really happens at that point?
What happens? Well, you've got to go back to maybe your personality is the kind that does not keep things going for long. It could be that you get bored quickly. It could also be the motivation behind the beginning of that relationship. Probably it was a time when you're vulnerable, or you wanted to prove a point to somebody else or something, or you just needed attention. You were going through a tough time. You needed somebody to just be talking to you. When the circumstances change, the need changes. So that is usually a matter of the changing of needs. That's why it is not very advisable to get into a relationship based on a need, because your need can change. And when it changes, you realize that the person who meets that need changes. So you'll feel like you need to do away with this person and then get somebody else who meets the other need. So sometimes your need is just attention. Another time, your need may be financial stability. So you feel like, I don't need attention right now. I need somebody who takes care of me with money. Then another time you have your own money. So you're not even looking for anybody's money. The need has changed. So you're looking for companionship. Then you begin to feel like I need somebody else who completes me. So it's very dangerous to get there. It is good to get into relationships when you are whole with yourself. Otherwise, you will just find that you get bored. Mostly, it is also because we are looking for things on the outside that we can only get from the inside, or we should get from the inside. Like, you can't get happiness or joy from the outside. You cannot get fulfillment from the outside. You must get that from within you. You have got to have self-acceptance. You've got to have self-love. You've got to have self-motivation. You've got to have self-belief in yourself, so that whether somebody comes into your life or not, it really does not diminish or add. You never feel less because somebody left. You may feel better that somebody is in your life, but you never feel less because they left. You don't allow your definition of self to be dependent on external factors. When that happens, when you do that, you will always see the need to keep on moving from one person to the other, depending on how you feel at that point.
We as youth, what's the right age for us to be involved in a relationship?
Now, I'll take you back to what I've just said right now. It's not so much about what age is right for you. It's about what stage. And there's a lot of factors that you've got to take into consideration when you want to get into a relationship. Are you whole? Do you have the time to commit? Do you have the will to go through all of that? Are you able to accept the change that comes with receiving somebody else in your life? Because when they come in, it means that some of your time will be taken. It means that you don't have time for everybody else you used to have time for. It means that you've got to be accountable to somebody somehow for your movement, your behavior, your character or something. So you got to take all of that into consideration. Are you at the stage where you can make that commitment? And do you have the energy? Do you have the momentum to keep that going? Do you have the ability, the emotional resource to give? Because when you go into a relationship, you're not just going to take or to receive. You're going in there to show love, to show respect, to make the other person feel better, to build them up. So do you have that within you? Because if you're depleted in yourself and you are deflated in yourself, you can't give it. When somebody texts you and say, "Can we meet?" You're feeling like, "I want to be by myself," because you don't think that you have energy to give out. So that's what you need to be assessing before you even think of can you. Then when it gets to other stages, when it's got to be like really serious, there's the matters also of priorities. You know, sometimes you are like, now you're in college. You may not really be at the stage where you can get into a very deep relationship or a very serious relationship, because you've got your studies ahead. You've still got a lot of things that are not figured out. So it may not be, if I'm in first year and I want to go all the way to fourth year, I may not commit to a very serious relationship because for the next 4 years, my academics are standing over there. I'm not getting married tomorrow. So it's more about the stage than the age.
Should my parents know about my status, my relationship, and all that?
At what stage?
At this stage.
At this stage, if you start. It depends on your relationship with your parents. And then it also depends on that relationship, how it is. There's nothing wrong with them knowing about it for purposes of accountability. It's a healthy thing to have people who you look up to knowing what is happening in your life and who is in your life. As long as you're not trying to introduce that person like your spouse or something, just for their guidance and just for the purposes of accountability. So if anything comes up, then they know you have been with this person. There's really nothing wrong with that. If you have that kind of an open relationship with your parents that you can talk to them, that's a good thing.
Do my parents really have to stop me from dating someone that I love?
It depends on their reasons. Your parents don't have to, but they will. I'll say that again. Your parents don't have to. That means they don't need permission to do anything. They're your parents, so they will always feel that they want to do that. They will. But then now you've got to weigh their decisions based on their intentions, their motives, their fears. Why do they not want you to be at a certain place at a certain time? It could be because they feel you have not gotten to the stage, what I was telling her, to do that. Or they feel, looking from outside, they feel you are losing focus. It's taking up too much of your time or your energy. Or they may think like, maybe you're going to get heartbroken and they're trying to protect you from that. So you got to also look at what is their motivation and their intentions. Most of the time, they're trying to be protective of their children. Sometimes it's not really that it's a bad thing. You've just got to understand that. So the best thing for you to do is to allay their fears. The more you let them know or see that you are in charge, you're on track, you are focused, the more fearless they become.
At this point of time that we're living in, this generation that we are in, do you think that lust has overtaken love? And do you think love really does exist today?
Every generation has been faced by what they thought were contemporary challenges. Every single generation. It's just that the expression of that contemporary is different. But in every generation, there has been fear that what was in the previous generation was lost. So there is still love. There's still love. There's still people who are committed to people in their lives. There are people who will sacrifice for them. There are people who are honest. They're truthful. There are people who are loyal. There will always be that. It's just that when we encounter change, we mostly focus on those changes. Because that's what you guys are, the students at the School of Media, and you know they tell you that when a man bites a dog, that's news. If the dog bites a man, that's not news. So you will not hear so much about the dogs that are biting the men. But if there is a case here or there where the man bit the dog, then there is going to be news. So you will always mostly hear what is strange. But that does not mean that normal does not exist.
Do you think, I did ask two questions. Do you think lust has overtaken love?
No, it has not. It's the kind of thing that, we will magnify. That's what I'm talking about. We will magnify certain things that we hear of. We will magnify probably what our view of the world is. It could be what I will watch on TV. It could be what I will hear on radio or see on the social media. But you've got to know that the greater percentage is not even on social media.
I know that.
So what we will see there is a small representation of the entire society. And I think that it has not overtaken. We are dealing with the challenges that when our parents were growing up, were dealing with. When I was growing up, we were dealing with these challenges. You guys are growing up in a different generation, dealing with the same challenges. Sometimes it's just magnified. But with every generation, that has happened.
How do you deal with a cheating partner, a partner who has cheated on you once, and you forgave him? Can you still believe that he can still cheat or not?
Well, the issue there is that when they cheated on you the first time, trust was broken. So now the work is to rebuild the trust. For that trust to be rebuilt, there's got to be open communication. If the person admits that they did wrong and they're willing to work through it, you've got to be patient with them and allow them to go through that process. You can't write off somebody when they're willing to change. You cannot say that they cannot change. I've heard people who say, once somebody has cheated, they cannot be straight again. That's not true. There has got to be the willingness for that person. There has got to be the grace on your side to allow that person to change. But it's going to be communication and a lot of communication. It is going to be you talking through with them, walking with them, trying to help them to get to the place that they need to get to. If they're really willing, they can change.
Nowadays, I believe that no money, no love, no relationship.
What did you say there?
Simply because...
Say that again.
No money.
No money.
No relationship and no love.
According to?
Nowadays, according to me.
According to you?
Yeah.
All right.
Simply because in most of the relationship, you find that when someone goes bankrupt, the relationship breaks.
Yeah.
So how are we going to encourage us that, or how are we going to build the relationship so that we believe that if there is no money, we'll continue the relationship?
Well, I think that most of the things that we have fear for in this room are things that we really don't have statistics for. For you to form that philosophy, you are talking with your boys and you're hanging out, and while you're talking and you think, that happened here and that happened here. So nowadays ladies can't commit to you if you don't have money. That's not true. They're those people who will commit to you without money. What a lady wants to hear from you is what's your vision. A lady wants to hear what's the future. Where are you trying to go to? If you can paint that to her, she will forget the fact that you don't have finances right now. Because as a man, you come into a lady's life as a leader. You've got to give hope and direction. That's what a leader is supposed to do. So even if you are at your lowest, but they can see your energy, your drive, your passion, your direction, they can see purpose in your life, they will follow you because they can see a brighter future. Most of the time, men just fear, and it could be something very internal, that the lady will leave because of money. Most women don't leave you because of money. A lot of women don't leave men because of money. They walk with men even when men are going down. They walk with them. Don't believe what you hear from the grapevine. There is so many people who will stick with you right through. So there is hope. All you need to do, paint the picture, give the hope, give the direction, show them the vision that you have, show them the plans that you have for life. Let them feel that they're getting into something that is bigger than just you, something that is exciting to them, that they want to partner with you in, and they will walk with you.
A girl who is like 5 or 6 older than you.
5 years?
Not much of a sugar mommy.
Okay.
And she's really into you. Can it really work?
You know, it can work. Because again, when it comes to a relationship, there's the elements of functions. And at that stage, I need to talk about if that relationship is a marriage or something, there's those elements of functions. And that age gap may not hinder the functions. For example, if you're a husband and you're 30 and your wife is 35, that age gap may not hinder your functions as a husband in terms of being a leader, being a director, being a provider and a protector. It may not hinder that. It may be a challenge when that gap is far wider. That might be a little bit of a problem. But at the stage where both of you is somewhere around 5 years around each other, sometimes even 6, 7, sometimes it's not really a problem. It depends on the development level of the man. It depends on the development of the lady, emotionally, mentally. It depends on all other different factors. So it's not something that you can just decide and say, look, it can't work because of age. No, there are people who are a bit older, but they're supportive, submissive. They understand the headship of the man or something. There are people who are younger as men, but they're very focused. They're very good leaders. They're very good strength system, support system to their wives. So it all boils down to the two people, their personalities, their level of development.
How will you know that your partner is cheating?
How will you know? How will you know that your partner is cheating? Well, I don't know whether I have the rules for telling you how you would know your partner is cheating. But I think that generally there will always be a behavioral change. Generally, there will be a behavioral change. There will be something that is stealing focus. There will be something that is just taking away the attention from you. I think that whenever you are suspecting something is happening, you need to create safety for this person to talk to you about that. Then moving from the point where you're thinking, maybe he's cheating, so I want to start stalking to see whether he's cheating or not. Because the truth is, if you find out he's cheating, it will hurt you. So sometimes you don't want to snoop and find out that. But it's behavioral changes. Anytime you notice that, probably you need to strengthen your relationship, not try to find out what he's doing. Find reasons why he should stick with you. Just strengthen your relationship. Make him see why he needs to spend more time with you. Make him see why you are greater value to him. Sometimes it's distraction. Sometimes it is stress or pressure or anything. But you try to work out that. Unless somebody is a serial cheat, then that becomes a problem. Unless they're just those kind of people who will do that for no reason. It's not that there's anything really happening around their life and then they're just doing that for no reason. Again, if there are levels in that cheating, it could just be emotional. It could be time, where somebody's spending more time like on phone with somebody else. They feel like they're having more fun talking, all the jokes that they have, they're talking. They're not really doing anything that is wrong, but he just keeps on looking forward to spending more time with somebody else. That could mean that something has broken down in your relationship with them. So always just try to find out what could be causing somebody to want to focus elsewhere. And you try and fix that. If it is not really you, then also you may now begin to look at the other person, whether they need to be in your life. And that has been Ask Pastor Chris for today. Having a lovely time here at the K.I.M.C, Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. You heard it from them. They say that this is the oldest institution in East and Central Africa that deals with media. And you know that this is where the celebrities have come from. So I am talking to the celebrities that are just about to come. And yeah, and you know, the Bible says that whoever walks with the wise becomes wise. So probably I will be a celeb one of these days. But yeah, so if you want us to come to wherever you are, either your school, your college, your community, your youth group, wherever you may be in your community, anywhere you want us to come to where you are for Ask Pastor Chris, write us on Life and Style at standardmedia.co.ke and we will make our way to where you are. Thank you for watching Relationship Wednesday on KTN. Thank you for being with us on Life and Style. Tomorrow is Thursday, so it will be Inspiration Thursday. Keep the conversations going and the questions coming in. KTN Life and Style is our hashtag. God bless you. Till we see you next week. Have a lovely day.